Paper Molas, part 3. Last week we started to fill our background with shapes that we made by folding one paper 2 times. When you cut out one shape, you get 4. The goal is to fill up the whole background. Today you will get a chance to finish the background, and I'm going to show you about the details of inside your animals or plants.
Hello, my talented artists.
If you want to be notified every time I put out a lesson, be sure to subscribe and it will come up on your feed. Let's start class out with a very important question. How can you cut 4 identical shapes out of a piece of paper? You're going to start with a piece of paper. Fold your paper twice before you cut. If you haven't already begun adding shapes to your background, today is the day. Let's jump forward to an almost finished background. I have some spaces here, little spaces, and maybe I'm going to make a new shape. What color will I use? I could go back to my yellow scrap, and I'm going to fold my paper twice. Once, twice. I'm not going to use a traditional shape this time. I'm going to make up modern shape. So I'm going to do a heart shape. Slow and low, that is the tempo. If you want to cut neat, you gotta go slow. Slow and low, that is the tempo. I know I've sped this up, but I did cut it slowly in the real time. Remember, after you cut out 4 shapes, immediately glue those 4 shapes down before you cut out more shapes. And that way you will not lose any shapes. I want to make sure that you are filling in your background, but also leaving some of the background visible. Once you have the background done, we can move on to the inside details of your plant or animal shape. So we can still use that method of taking a paper and folding it twice, drawing a shape that you want. So if I want a shape to fill in, maybe I want a shape to look like feathers. So maybe I'll do kind of a long teardrop shape like that. It could be any shape. I could use that little triangle shape if I want. I could use squares or circles. I can use geometric shapes, or I can use organic shapes. This teardrop shape is an organic shape. As you remember, we want to make sure that the pencil side is the side we put the glue on. I want them all facing the same direction, so I'm going to line them up. It's slightly bent in one direction, and put a little glue. It might be too much. Not too much. And I'm going to fill it in just like I filled the background
by having repeated shapes. And I do that by folding one piece of paper twice, cutting out one shape, and then I get 4 of the same shape. It's pretty cool. This one doesn't really fit, so I think I might, where shall I put it? Maybe I'll just put it there. So you can do repeated shapes, but you also might want to do a shape that is one shape. You might want to do one eye. Of course, you might want to do 2 eyes. This is a profile, so I would only need 1 eye. If you want to do 2 of the same exact shape, like 2 eyes, what would you do? Anybody know? That's right, we would fold it in half once to make 2 of the same shape. Now you probably won't be able to see my pencil mark. I'm just going to make a circle for the eye, and then I'm going to cut out my, I see the pencil is reflecting in the light so you can see it. Hurrah! And carefully cut out my shape. Now, even if you don't get a smooth circle shape like I did, because I am old, I have been cutting a long time, you can still use it, because when you have 2 of the same, it looks pretty cool. Now, I don't need 2 eyes. I could put 2 eyes, which would look kind of fun, but I think I'm just going to do 1 eye. But I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to take another scrap, but I'm going to glue it onto another paper to make sure there's space around so I can leave a line of blue. Now, instead of just cutting completely around it, I could add something.
So I cut out little blue nubs that stick out on either side of my eye.
But now I need to fill in the rest with details. Another piece. Maybe I'll do with that zigzag line. There's one more shape that I want to be unique, which means it's 1. I don't need to fold it, just like the eye I just made. Well, I made 2, but I only needed 1. And that is, I'm going to make a little wing shape. I'm going to draw whatever shape that I think looks good for a wing. You can always do some sketches. It's always good to practice drawing a little before you do the final shape. I should not smear this on my beautiful mola. I should smear it on the paper on my table. And I can put it directly on. I could put it on another piece of paper. Be sure to always press. Sometimes I just like to cut out the shape so that I have a smaller shape to manage. And then that's gonna go there. And your job is to fill in the background, and then you can start adding details to fill in the inside. All right, let's keep going. I'll finish mine while you guys finish yours. Well, it's a lot of work. I don't know how far you got. I took a long time and I think I'm finished. I think this is my finished mola. Always make sure you have your name on the back and have fun molaing.